reason for using the future continuous tense is because something happens in the future that is continuous. Something that happens in the future that is continuous. This is the reason for using the future continuous tense. So that action remains continuous in the future. So if this is the present, then this is the future, and the activity continues from one time to another. Let's say, for example, between 6 o'clock and 6:30 or 6:30, I eat dinner. I eat dinner. So instead of saying this, I'll be saying I'll be eating dinner from 6 o'clock to 6:30 or 6:30. I'm talking about the situation now. This situation is happening now. I'll be eating dinner from 6 to 6:30. So at this moment, I'm talking about the situation that is going to happen in future. So as I mentioned that I'll be eating dinner from 6 o'clock to 6:30, it means I'm thinking about an activity that occurs within this time, and that time is from 6 to 6:30, from 6 o'clock to 6:30. Now the question arises, what will you be doing later today? This is the question. So here is the modal verb will, and then use the verb be. This is the verb be, and this is modal verb will. Because this is a continuous action, and then the main verb is do. This is the main verb do, followed by an ing ending. Here the subject is you, and here is the answer to the question, what will you be doing later today? The answer is I'll be working in my office. This is the contraction of I will. I'll is the contraction of I will. So here is the modal verb will. This is the modal verb will. That is followed by be, and then the main verb is work with an ing ending, working. If the answer is negative, you can say I won't be doing anything. This is the contraction won't. This is the contraction of I will. But we have to add I will not. So actually this is the part that is contracted to won't. So as I mentioned that won't is the contracted form of will not. So if the answer is a negative, you can say I won't be doing anything. This is the main verb, and it is being supplemented by ing ending. Forming the future continuous tense is very easy. After the subject, use will. First of all, we have to have a subject, then will, then we have be, then the main verb with an ing ending. So as I mentioned, forming the future continuous tense is very easy, and this is the structure that it follows. In singular pronouns, the main verb goes here, over here. I will be, and then the main verb with an ing ending. As you can see, the verbs used don't change in all the cases. Will be, you will be, he will be, she will be, it will be. Then we have we will be, you will be, and then they will be. Whether the pronouns are singular or plural, as I mentioned, that the verbs used don't change. It remains will be. You always use will and be, and then the main verb over here. And then the main verb goes here, and then add the ing ending. So if we talk the verb read, or just take this verb read, for example, so I'll be reading, I will be reading, you will be reading, he will be reading, she will be reading, it will be reading. And for plural pronouns, we will be reading, you will be reading, they will be reading. So in all these cases, the main verb is read. It doesn't matter what the subject is, you form the future continuous tense in the same way as these examples. Use contraction with the future continuous tense. So if you take I and will together, that becomes I'll. So these are actually the contractions. I'll be doing, you will be doing, he will be doing, she will be doing, it will be doing, will be doing, you will be doing, they'll be doing. So these are actually the contracted forms. Instead of I will, we are using I'll, you will, he'll, she'll, it'll, will, you'll, and they'll. In all these cases, we have the contractions. It's important to pronounce the contractions properly, so let's go through each of these first. I'll, you'll, he'll, she'll, it'll, will, you'll, they'll. So these are the correct pronunciations. If the main verb is in the future continuous tense, it will sound like this: I'll be going, you will be going. So I'll be doing, you will be doing. This is also correct, whatever the verb, main verb you take. But if we take it go, that it will be going, like that. I'll be going, you will be going, and something like that. Be going to, this particular structure can be replaced by will. Be going to can be replaced or substituted by will. So as I mentioned, that be going to can substitute for will. So instead of saying a will in the position I am going to or I will be working tomorrow, we can write like this: I am going to be working tomorrow. You are going to be working tomorrow. So instead of be going to, we can substitute it with will, or will can substitute am going to. So this is be going to, are going to, am going to, is going to, are going to, are going. All these can be substituted quite easily instead of will. But one thing is very easy to mention over here, that all of these reflect future action. we'll watch TV, or we will be watching TV, or we are going to be watching TV. All these structures are referring to future tense. We will watch TV, we will be watching TV, or we are going to be watching TV. So over here, are going to, this is actually the be going to format that can replace will quite easily. So we will be watching TV, or we, instead of will, are going to be watching TV. They are similar structures. There is no difference. It depends upon the activity. If we compare these two, these are quite simple and quite natural, and we can express future tense in a very relaxed manner once we utter these two. Instead of we will watch TV, we will be watching TV, or we are going to be watching TV. These are better expressions.